Cool.
All right, Kim, we are live, and it is the last open office hours of 2023.
Oh my goodness. We've done, how many have we done? You should count. I think we've probably done at least 20 or more.
This year?
Yes.
I'll have
Maybe
to count.
more. Anyway. Yeah, we're here to showcase how to use the membership directory and profiles add-on for Paid Memberships Pro. I will preface this by saying a lot of this will be code in this tutorial. We'll try to give no code options when we need to, but part of the reason we scheduled this is because 2024 is going to be kind of a very front-end focused year for Paid Memberships Pro. We want to give the people what they're asking for, which has been, better design tools, better flexibility to lay things out, to move things around. So we don't make too many roadmap promises, but I know that directories are on our focus for 2024 after we get 3.0 out the door. All of my demos are on 3.0 today, so I did put us on the latest beta version of Paid Memberships Pro. It's not a version that should be used for production sites, just for testing sites, but I wanted to put it on this version since it's coming in Q1 of next year, and I thought it would be the best way to find issues with directories right now as we're going through all of these tutorials. So we have a lot of pre-submitted questions. Sam, you're going to be facilitating that for us.
I will. And just so anybody else is curious, we have done 25 live streams. This will be 26.
Nice.
Which makes sense because it should be every other week. So
that's true. We have been consistent. I love it. And we already have Q1 planned. So if you head over to paidmembershipspro.com/live, you'll see Q1 of next year, what we have in store for other demos like this. If you're here and you pre-submitted a question, post in chat your name if you're comfortable doing that, and we'll try to make sure we prioritize the questions of people that are here. And I'll just start with a basic overview and hand wave of what I have on my demo site currently and leave a lot of space for questions. I have a lot of content I could go through if the questions dry up, but I don't think that will happen today.
Not with this one.
Cool. So as always, here is our demo site. This already has a directory set up. So if you start a new demo at try.pmproplugin.com, you will get a similar version to the directory we're going to be playing around with today. So you can just click this link and it'll launch a version that you can then play with of member directories with the data and these demo users in it as shown here. We're going to take things a little further in the demo I'm working on today. But yeah, like I said, this is the directory for these pages. It has some custom profiles. It has a little bit of CSS, but MemberLite also styles for this. And then the individual profiles pages also have user fields and information like that, but not otherwise too much customized. So I'm going to go in the admin and kind of start from the beginning. If you were thinking to add this to a brand new site, what would you do? So in your admin, you would go to memberships, add-ons, and search for directories or directory. This is a plus add-on, so you need to have a valid plus license active and validated in the site, or be using a development version off of GitHub, which is also an option with our open source products. So I do already have this installed and activated. So now once you do that, you don't really get much hand holding past that point. So the documentation is going to be your best guide here. But the first thing that the setup includes would be navigating to memberships, settings, pages, and a new section will be added here called additional page settings. And these would be, unset for the first install, but because they already exist for us, they are set. You would have a link to generate the page, which will automatically insert the required shortcode, just like all the other pages Paid Memberships Pro requires for the front end of the site, both for the directory and the profile. You can, these would get generated under the membership account hierarchy, but if you wanted the URL somewhere else, you can do that in WordPress. I can do that as part of this demo. So when you go to edit the pages, mine's going to look a little different because I switched to using the block method, but yours would generate with this shortcode. Oh, I didn't do a shortcode block, did I? What kind of block is that? A details block. Okay, so yours would generate with just this shortcode, just this first block here. I customized it because it also includes a block, and I like using the block editor. If you're using a page builder like Elementor, Divi, Beaver Builder, Oxygen Builder, all of the ones we integrate with, you would want to keep using the shortcode method because that would make it compatible with your builder experience. So know that short code, and the attributes map pretty closely to the block we're going to demo here. I had the short code on the page, so I just left it, but we don't need that. So you would add the directory block, which would just be members directory here, which I already have added on this site. And it kind of gives you a preview of sample user information of what it would look like based on what you customized. It's not a perfect one-to-one match, but it's pretty close. Oh, we say any resemblance to actual persons is coincidental. That's funny. Good job, Andrew. And then in this block settings sidebar, for people using the WordPress block editor, they get all of these settings. So which levels should be included in the directory? Maybe your directory is a feature that's an enhanced tier. So you have 3 tiers of membership, but only people in the professional level display in the directory. That's certainly an option. Maybe you have a free tier and 3 paid tiers, and you only want the paid tiers to show. So you could select which ones get included just by clicking on this list. If you don't select any, it's going to include all members, which is what I have this directory set up to do. There are some layout options for how you want the people to display on the front end. So we peeked at it earlier. This was the 4-column layout. It also includes a 2-column, a 3-column, a table type view, and then just block layout or div. This is something I want to improve, make those a little more understandable for people that don't use HTML or use things like that. Like, what do these really mean, these display options? But for mine, I have it on the 4-column layout. And then you can just customize what other things you want to adjust here. Make the avatar bigger, show their level name or not, show their email address or not. I would certainly be cautious what information you show, like email address. If you automatically show people's email addresses on the front of your site without their permission or them really like confirming that that's going to happen, that could be a worrisome situation. This directory is public. We're going to later show how to make it private. So you can certainly have like 2 versions of your directory, one that's public with limited information and one that's visible to members within the paywall, within the community logged in, that shows more contact info. Depends what you're using your directory for. If it's for internal networking or if it's for like public listing, like how to find the best plumbers in your area and you want people's contact info shown, just think about that when you're designing and displaying information. So this one, I also added some custom fields. This is another area we want to improve, but the structure of this is to show what the field is labeled by, then the key of the field, which is set up in user fields. So this just shows company name and position. If we click through to an individual profile, we want to edit page, not edit profile. You'll see this was my short code I had before. I don't need that because I'm using the block version and all of the settings that I have customized. So that's the basics setup. Let's show what a lot of people want to do is show specific user fields on this page. So that would be done under membership settings, user fields. Just like user fields you're adding anywhere in your membership site, whether they're at checkout for admins only or on the edit user profile screen. So I have some fields set up. This first one is a group that shows at checkout. These are fields we capture right away at checkout and then also on their edit profile later. We also have a field group for their address. And this is uniquely set up because we're going to demo how membership maps integrate with our directory features, but we can ignore that for now. So these, we were looking in our directory how we had those labels mapped to a meta key. The meta key you want is this name column. So you saw on my directory, I have company name, company underscore name, all one word, no spaces, no capitals. That maps to this field right here. Position to position. And then on our profile, we also had a featured video, which was a pre-asked question, how to show a video on that page. So that's on the basics of everything. Let's do a checkout. Well, I'm already logged in as a member. Let's see. I'll show how people can hide themselves, which is it's part of the default directory settings that it adds a profile field for people to optionally hide themselves. I did also add it as a user field, so it would show up on the front end profile and also on the new edit member page in PM Pro 3.0. But these are the user fields, that field group for directory and profile information we created with company name and position. If I check this box to hide my profile from the directory, it will remove me. I was on this. Which page was I on? I don't know. You don't see the PM Pro logo anymore. So it removed me from the directory. That same user field is also available to you as the admin of the site on the WordPress user profile edit. So you can scroll down to the bottom and then there's hide from directory. So you can check and uncheck that if people directly contact you as admin and ask to be removed. Otherwise, they would be able to manage it themselves from the front end, your profile screen right here. So you could tell them, log into your membership account from your dashboard, click on edit profile, and then you should see a field to hide yourself from the member directory here. Is there anything else I want to show? It was a pre-submitted question, so I'll cover this now. The directory front end tries to show, let me unhide myself so that I can show those embeds. There's logic in the directory and profiles to take certain field types that look like an embeddable URL to WordPress. So what does that mean? WordPress uses something called OEmbed, and it recognizes a lot of different services like YouTube, like SoundCloud. There's so many other WordPress site URLs it can embed from, like a post. It can have a little pretty snippet of a post. So if you add a field that is detected as an OEmbed type field, it'll automatically render it right in the directory. So for me, I just added my featured video, and it's a link to my YouTube video. The profile page knows this is an embeddable type of media, and it puts it right on the site there. The directory add-on has a list of the file types that will embed. So audio files, document files, images, and video files. That URL's wrong here. We should update that, Sam. Good docs update there. But this shows a list of the types of files that WordPress will try to embed. And I think it also has a list of supported embeddable sites. We should update this link too, to all of the types of URLs that people might embed from. So if you had people wanting to share like a Facebook page or an Instagram, it's going to create like kind of a more beautiful thing than just a link to that type of content. So that was a question someone had pre-submitted about embedding videos. I'm going to do a quick overview of the maps, and I think I'll go back to questions. So the Memberships Maps add-on is part of Paid Memberships Pro. It's another premium add-on you can install from Memberships Add-ons. Maps, it has one piece of settings, which is adding your API key. That's the only thing you need to do. It'll tell you if your API key registered correctly. I thought it would be a lot scarier to create this API key, but it really wasn't. Just look into the details of the API, the Google Maps API. It's not a free API. It's a free up to a limit API. So just be cautious of where you put the maps on your site, and that you have, keep an eye on your email, because Google will email you if you're hitting a threshold and reaching a point that you have to pay. I've heard horror stories of people getting a map on their site, and then their site was like DDoSed, and then they had to pay all these map fees. So what does Maps do? It automatically renders a map on the directory with linked targets, or what do you call these, map markers of the people within your community. The default targets will show the same information that the person's little grid within the directory will show. So for this person, they must live somewhere in West Virginia, bordering Kentucky, and it shows some information and a link to their profile. You can customize this little tooltip that shows up, this little map marker hint. A lot of people ask for zip code search. We can try to work on that later. It's not that easy. It requires some third-party stuff, but that's the basics of when you put maps together with the directory add-on. It puts the same map on their single profile, and it kind of focuses in on that location, so of where that member is. Yeah, West Virginia here. It should focus, and you can change the default settings of the zoom of this thing and all kinds of stuff. This person, it centers the map on their physical location. All right, that's maps. That's basics of directory. I'm going to take a breath, have a sip of coffee, and we'll answer some questions that might have been pre-submitted or popping up in chat based on this demo.
Yeah, we have some in chat.
Cool.
For a while, people were really, really quiet, and now they're coming out.
Okay, good. I don't let anyone talk. I talk too fast.
Coyote's Den is asking, default searching is way too broad in the directory. Is there any way to search only username and first or last names?
Yes. So you want to limit which user information is searched here. Let me look. I was looking for a recipe for this beforehand and I didn't see it. So let me look at the code to try to find what fields are searched.
In the member directory I have set up for my guild, I did not add any custom code, and I can search by first and last name.
Okay, but it's like maybe it's pulling other stuff up that they don't want. They want it to just search by name. Trying to think how we could. I don't know. Does it search this? It must search all user meta, right? Yeah, it must search all user meta. Okay, let me look how the search works. We will be a little technical. Okay, I see it here. So you can filter the search SQL to be used. So we could limit and not include like meta value and stuff like that. So I think that would be, maybe we can tooltip this, Sam. This is the bit of code, and this is the filter you'd want to adjust. Member directory SQL search. Let's see if there's any good gists for this. This looks like only search their display name. Let's try it. Let's see. This is a plugin called Code Snippets. It's a free plugin in WordPress.org. We recommend it for all of the code snippets you might be managing in your membership site. It's going to let you safely, almost always safely, add little bits of code that all show up as separate snippets. What's nice is if they're not working, it'll automatically turn itself off. Or if you don't really need it all the time, you can turn it off. It makes it really easy to identify what code's doing what if you only put one little snippet in each one. So it's a good way to, even if you're just testing and later consolidate them all to a separate plugin, it can be a really helpful thing. So let me see. Maybe if I just, this looks like it's including display name. What we want is only. No, it is overriding. It's overriding the and. Okay. Let's try it. Where'd my snippet go? Okay. It's active. So now if we search account executive, it shouldn't return anything, right? It didn't. Oh, it fatal errored, I think. Hold on. What happened? Nope. It doesn't like my directory. Oh. Well, that's not a complete recipe. This is a problem. Okay. Query SQL search where? Debugging? We're going to have a lot of debugging on this one. I just have to return it probably.
And if you enjoyed debugging with Kim, join me for debugging at the end of March.
That's right. Let's try that. Okay. Nope, doesn't like that either. Why doesn't it like this? It's active. Query. Debug a little. I wonder if it's the map. Let's deactivate the map just while we're playing with this one. What's going to add to the query? We want to override it completely. Let's see. Yeah, we want the whole thing. This looks like it just adds. Let's try a different one. That one loops through. All right, I don't want to waste too much time on this. Maybe this one's better. Let's try this one. It feels like it's set up to do such a thing. Loop through the search array, search string. All right, let's take it to just view.display name. Let's try this one. It might just be a factor that's not. All right, now that's working. Okay, we did it, guys. So now we have it searching just the display name, which is this value, right? So some version of that snippet would be the one you want to use if you want to limit which specific user information it's searching. By default, it searches user login, which is like the username in WordPress, the email, that display name value, and then all of the meta fields that are present in the directory result. So for us, it would include the company and the position name. With this active, it's going to limit it to just display name as we have this recipe now. We can put a link to this one for developers to customize. Do you want me to put it in chat, Sam?
Yes, please.
Okay, cool. I'm glad we did it. It's hard for me to stop once I start. Okay, deactivating. Next.
Okay, next question. Can members self-determine what information they show in the directory?
No. The only way that they can currently do that is by erasing it out, so not including it on their profile. That is something people have asked for, and it's on my mind. So if you're in chat, give a +1 if that's something you would like. I guess, how would it work
+1
on the front end? 1 + 1? Go, more +1. No.
It's my +1 for my directory.
Oh, that's yours. Okay, so how that would have to work is there'd be like an additional checkbox underneath, include or display this in the directory. You do get those features if you're using, I think, BuddyBoss and their directory, but don't add BuddyBoss just because of a directory feature unless you have other community components in your site. But I think how it would work is you would have to, have an extra checkbox after this, like, do you want this field to show? Do you want this field to show? But just by erasing it from your profile, you won't have it shown. So that's like kind of the workaround. I don't have a value for company or position right now, so it's not showing it for me. So that's the workaround. And then
we're getting a lot of +1s.
Good.
And
so
I have
lots
to say,
like manual toggle of permission of what's visible.
Yeah, I think it's important because, like, for our guild, they want us to submit on our profile our email, phone number, address, birthday, emergency contact. And most women in the guild don't care about sharing all that information because it is behind the paywall. Mm-hmm. But, like, for me personally, I don't really want everybody to have my address.
Right.
Like, no, thank you.
The information is a requirement of membership, but it's also being displayed automatically in the field, in the directory. So even though the admins want and require that field, the user needs flexibility to toggle its visibility. So yeah.
Yeah, and I want to be shown in the directory, but I don't want them to have all my personal information. So right now, the only option is to not be shown in the directory at all.
Yes.
So, yeah. But you are getting a lot of +1s on that. So
good. Well, we can definitely do that.
Ideas meeting.
Yeah. I wonder if there'll be a need. Yeah, we have to think, like, how complex does the profile edit screen look? And is it better to have like a secondary view? There's editing your profile information, and then there's toggling the view of your fields. So should they be coupled or decoupled? So something we'll work on as we develop that feature in the future, if we do. No promises, but
sorry if you can hear my dog.
That's okay. We like dogs.
He's a little grumpy today. He got a bath. Okay. So next question. Ken says, table view shows all extra fields in one column. Can you display each individual field in their own column?
You would need to create a custom template for your directory, which we can do. We have a recipe for that. So let me pull it up quick and we'll see if it's not too hard to do. It's here. I'm on a demo site. I'm on InstaWP, so it might be a little trickier for me to edit files in this one, but maybe I can do it through snippets. Okay, just create a new short code, rename the directory or profile short code to something unique for your site and require that template in your customers. Okay, we can do that version. Okay, let's see. You want to work on the directory version, correct? Let's code. I am looking at the code in the directory plugin. I'm copying all of the information from the existing member directory shortcode. I'm going to change the name, my custom shortcode. This might not work. This might work. Kim. All right, so let's just make sure this works. This is our version of the directory shortcode. Wrong page. Okay.
And this, you're trying to set up the custom columns so everything has individual.
Yes.
That's what we're trying to do here.
Yes. Is it layout? Is that the attribute? I'm going to
Yes.
guess at attributes.
It is.
Okay. Okay. And then our custom fields are fields.
I think so.
How do you spell the word company? Okay. So now we have two custom fields. We've kind of recreated this, right? It would probably be a little long if we include all this. Let's take some fields off. Which other ones? Let's get that show profile link off.
I think it's show profile, not show link. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I've only played around with customizing the shortcode.
No, that didn't work either.
Nope. I'm on the page. I want to find out.
You are? You can be my Is it show start date all one word? Start date?
Show _ start date.
Okay. All right, we made it a little smaller. So now let's
and
say
it's
we wanted
just
to break
link,
these.
not show link.
Oh, link. That's weird. Oh, I guess like, do we link the whole thing? So now this isn't a link and that's not a link. Okay, here we are. Now we're going to go back to our code and we're going to adjust it a little bit. The only thing that's going to be weird is the header, but we can work on that. All right. Here's the fields array. Let's do this.
I'm just glad I've learned enough this year to help you shortcode.
Thank you. Next year, you'll be coding.
No. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
We're going to hack this for this. All right. I mean, this is the Kim's 5-minute how to do this. This should work. All right. Cross your fingers that I coded it right the first time. Yay. All right. We can probably get rid of the label in the front because that's for a file field. This is a meta field. I'm just going to take them all. Nope. Trying to get rid of these labels. There. So really what you're doing here is just saying like, I don't need you to create the shortcode and the display. I'll create my own. We duplicated the shortcode that member directory looks at and we change the name of the shortcode and the function that draws it, and then we can just do whatever we want in that HTML and render it ourselves in any way that we want to do so. Yeah, that's nice.
That is nice. And that didn't take you very long.
No, I hacked it a little bit. I would want to make it nicer and do it better. But yeah, it will work.
All right. I think we talked about this. Am I repeating questions?
We'll see.
I don't think I am.
Can the user directory back to the...
We did talk about this. It's just asked a different way. Can the user hide certain fields without removing themselves completely? At this time, no, but that's what all the plus ones are for, is voting to get that in. Alexander says, I know how to use the PM Pro member profile after action to add other data on the profile that is more complex than user fields, but can we add second email addresses if they have them?
Are they stored as user fields on the user? If they're stored as a user field, you can use the regular fields thing. Let's say add a field, secondary email. And then on the page, let's say, we would just show to spell, update, except this person doesn't have one. Let me edit. I'll add here, secondary email. Cool. Now my dogs are barking. I'm not sure if you can hear them.
We can. At least I can.
So if it's a user field, you can just show it as you do any other fields. I'm not sure where otherwise a secondary email might be coming from. But as long as it's attached to the users as user meta, you can pull it from that method.
Alexander said, no, this is an institutional thing that knows the email from a taxonomy term on the user. I want to know if there's a way to filter in second emails to the email address piece.
Are you using the sponsored members add-on, or what other system is attaching institutional members to one another? We have an add-on called Sponsored Members. We're revamping it and moving features into a new add-on called Group Accounts, which is all no code. Sponsored Members was a very difficult to use add-on that had a lot of features that people weren't really using anymore. It was getting hard to support. So Group Accounts is the evolution, and it's going to continue to be developed and have features brought in that existed in Sponsored Members very intentionally. But the feature of both of those add-ons is the ability for a company or an individual to buy a bulk number of seats so that other people within their organization, their family, their team, their group, whatever, are linked to that parent account. So membership is paid for by the parent account, and all of the children accounts under it. If the parent account expires, so do the children. So there is a recipe on our site if you're using sponsored members to have a directory that shows the parent account and all the child accounts linked to it on the directory. So it's sort of like the Paid Memberships Pro page, and then all of our team would have a sub listing on the profile page. So let me just show a link to that. We don't have a replicated version for group accounts, but it's totally possible and would be a great recipe to get out. Oh, you know what? I didn't include it here because it's the other.
And for those interested in the group account, we do have an open office hours demo on January 25th at 2 p.m. Eastern with Kim to dive into that one.
Yeah, so this is the recipe on our site to display the group members. But if the person asking this question could tell me where they, this is probably pretty easy to replicate for group accounts.
Alexander said mostly custom code and a taxonomy.
Okay. Yeah, you just, oh, sorry, my phone's ringing. Yeah, that might be a good one for the, I don't know your taxonomy or how that's done. If it's like is it a user taxonomy in WordPress? I thought we had a good recipe post about that. Maybe we didn't yet. because you can do user taxonomies with user fields, but it's all custom coded. So I think if you open a ticket, we can certainly point you in the direct direction for that custom code, but you could probably look at the sponsored members code as like an example of how users are retrieved, which I just lost it. Yeah, so I would start from this one and look at how this one's pulling in the data, and you just have to rewrite your queries for how your users are connected. More questions?
More questions. Okay, that was Alex's questions. Okay.
Tabs cleanup time.
New Solutions is asking if there is a OpenStreetMaps integration.
We don't have that currently. We just
OPWN?
have the Google. We saw this one asked recently in support, so it's on our radar to look at. But we currently just integrate with the Google Maps API.
Not right now. Okay, and then April says we submitted a question earlier today. I don't know if something broke, Kim, but I did not have a question from April.
Oh,
but
okay.
Could the PM Pro directory display BuddyPress X profile fields?
Yes, you just need to recreate them as user fields, and then there's some code that syncs them together with PM Pro. Let me start here. So when you create your user fields, you also need a little recipe like this that maps the X profile field name to the user field key or name, and then they stay in sync. So the BuddyPress X profile fields aren't stored as user meta, which is WordPress's database structure for storing the user information that is like meta fields, like additional fields or custom fields like our user fields does, and attaches them to the user object. X profile fields are in their own table. So this recipe tells those two fields whenever one is updated to keep the other one in sync. And if you had something like this in your site, you could then use the user fields just like we've been showing in this whole demo on the profile on the directory. They just have to be like recreated. We can put a link to here. Do you have a link to that, or I'll put it in the chat?
I do not have a link to that.
X profile fields sync. But BuddyPress does have its own, and BuddyBoss have their own directory options. So it might also just be possible to not use member directories and instead use their user groups and directories stuff.
Okay. Reportica says, I know we can. Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Go ahead.
Okay. I know we can set memberships to require approval. Is there a way to set changes to the profile to require approval before they appear in the public directory?
I advocate for this one. You just never know if someone signs up on your site and then they like have a nice profile, you approve them to be listed, and then they later go change it and they make it all spammy and terrible, or they put bad backlinks in it, or worse yet, like offensive content. So I think that's like a pending change to a user field thing. That another one of those plus ones. Tell me if you think that that's needed. Just like the thing we were talking about earlier with who can control what's visible. I think those could tie hand in hand. So a visibility could toggle automatically off and be locked until an admin, unflags something like pending user profile changes. The user would see their profile changed. I guess we'd have to like duplicate and remember their old information, keep that public on the profile, or like temporarily hide them entirely from the profile while they're pending changes. I'd like to see sites that do this and understand their workflows. Like, I think it'd be hard if you pull someone out of the directory because they wanted to make a change. I think they just have to go in some kind of queue and be ready for the admin to take a look at and say yes and approve and get them made public. So yeah, on my mind for sure. I've told people that that's worrisome, and we need people who have directories almost need a little process to check random people's profile pages and make sure nothing weird is happening. I'd say as long as there's a payment to membership and the incentives are there, it's not super likely people are going to do that and be abusive, but you just don't know. Might accidentally happen.
Yeah, good.
So not currently. There is a recipe to exclude unapproved people from showing, hide pending and denied members. I really feel like this should just be native, and maybe it is now. Some of our directories were, or some of our recipes were written before improvements to add-ons were made. So this one feels like it will or is going to be merged into the directory add-on just for compatibility between the two. So it's possible that that already exists, but it's one to check out if you are using an approval process and a directory currently.
Yeah, Cheryl's idea is give them the option to hide before approval. Otherwise, the public old one stays until change is approved.
Okay. Yeah.
And then Alexander said, I think especially if the profile is public. The thing is, if there are more than one profile, would the paywall one stay there during approval and only the public one be checked for approval? So
Oh, okay. So the internal one could be automatic, and then the data that's shown publicly on the site waits for admin approval, which is really smart. I always try to think of a use case myself for all of our add-ons because we like to use our product ourselves, and it helps us see all the things that you all are telling me now that are pain points in these add-ons. So I haven't thought of one for directories yet. We need one. Even just something simple. I don't know. We've talked about like a directory of people using Payments Pro and what that could look like and other ideas, but just these touch points of learning what people need and want and how they're using directories are helpful.
Going back to the customization that you were doing with the theme and the columns.
Yes.
Pam's asking, can PM Pro support help make custom changes like this?
We don't make custom code recipes that are like this in depth. We can write like a simple one that shows you how to like turn a filter to false or something like that. But when it gets to like this level of customization where there's like, you know, you have a spec for what you want it to look like, please go to our developers page. We work with Codable. There's developers on Fiverr. And then there's also some individuals that we have approved and worked with and can vouch for their quality of work from that page. So it's just PaidMerchantPro/developers. They'd be able to do that. I would, you know, think about writing as clear of a spec as possible, even if you're like PowerPoint presentation, lay out a fake directory and give them exactly the appearance that you're looking for. Because this is a design thing, there can be lost in translation. If you haven't worked with a developer before and written such a clear scope for what you really want, any pictures can really help. I should name this.
There. He's so angry. Okay.
It's okay. Sorry, Abby.
Alexander said, related to that directory idea, Kim said, is there any community like on Discord or such of PM Pro users for us to share ideas and help with?
We don't currently have a public community. If you're a paid member, you can join our Slack workspace where we are trying to encourage some community conversation. We're thinking about opening it up to more people to participate in. I don't know where you guys hang out. Do you like Discord? Jason, my co-founder, loves Discord and would love to have the community there. I find it a little bit too technical. We have a Facebook page, but it's just a page, not really a Facebook community. And Sam and I are not Facebook users too heavily. So wherever we land on it, we would like to offer that for people to have these kinds of conversations. There are a lot of WordPress products that have active Facebook groups or Slack communities where you all can talk to each other and say, like, this is a struggle I'm having with directories, or this unlocked revenue growth when I added this feature to my directory, or things like that. So I think we have to be prepared for it to be very quiet when we first start, but as we expanded, maybe it could grow.
It looks like we have 2 votes for Discord right now. I am actually not on Discord at all. I don't.
Maybe you'll love it. Jason would be so happy.
Maybe my husband can give me a Discord tutorial.
There you go. I have one with my kids because they're on Discord because they're gamers. So that's how we communicate to them as a family sometimes, you know.
Oh, there might be a small unofficial Facebook group for PM Pro. We're gonna have to do
is
some
there?
digging.
Okay. I hope they are having fun.
I'm on Facebook personally, but
Okay.
not so much
Not for
professionally.
work. Yeah. Keep the questions coming. Do we have any more from pre-submitted, or are we all kind of dried up there?
We're caught up on in the chat. I was looking through the pre-submitted one to see if there was anything that like really stuck out. That would be good.
I'm going to show this for a little bit, unless you have something. No, not this one. The other one. One thing that a lot of strong directories have is like a sidebar with filters to limit results rather than a free text search. A free text search is great if people know what they're searching for, but if you really had, like the person who spoke earlier about taxonomies, it sounds like they have really structured data. This would be like a directory of, freelancers in your area, and they were designers, they were web developers, they were experienced with JavaScript. Like they had specific information about them that was structured data that you're storing in a structured way. So we have this article about adding filters, but I think it's something we want to look at improving and adding natively, some kind of like a filter bar or filter widget. These screenshots are small, but you can kind of get an idea of what we achieve here by limiting information in the results of the directory. So I'm going to try to add this to this demo site and just kind of walk through this tutorial. It's a very long code recipe. This one will work. And people can chatter if that's something they would use. We had a pre-question to make a directory like LinkedIn, which is a very robust site and has a lot of features. I don't know if, I guess LinkedIn has kind of limiting what you're searching against, like pages, companies, people, things like that. But what other features are people looking for? I think this is one of them. But interject if someone has a more pressing question and wants this demo over.
The only pressing question I have is Coyote's Den Homestead wants the code for director searching that we went over, where you narrowed it down to the first and last name or first name.
Yes, that was this result. You would just have to tweak these lines to only include the values you care to search against. So I'll put that one in chat quick. Filter, limit. There you go.
Are there category searches?
Yeah, that's kind of what we're demoing now. Search against structured data, like filtering against structured data. So this would have like a membership level. I'm seeing what I have to customize here. Okay, set up the values. We don't have a color. Oh, this was written about dogs too. I hope nobody dislikes dogs a lot. And then they would just be like, I'll never use pay memberships for because I dislike dogs. Okay. My directory has fields like company and position. I thought the best one to do would be position because it's a fixed results, what my position fields are tracked as. So I'm going to make that my custom field here. And they are, I wrote them to myself earlier in Slack. Hold on. Oh, maybe I didn't. I thought I did. All right, let's just do them ourselves. Web designer, account executive, dog trainer, director, present sales. Okay, not too many.
Project manager.
What else? Marketing coordinator. This should work. They have to map like this. That's annoying. We'll just do a few. We might not have everybody. Sorry, everybody in the directory. Okay.
Growth Virtual Assistant says Could the position be retitled to as industry? Yes, this is in user fields, so you
Yes.
can name them whatever you want to name them.
I don't think this will work right out of the bat because I think that I need to coat color. The dog wants to come in. They said they heard me talking about dogs, y'all. Okay. Get rid of these. Oh, coat color. Are there any I missed? So it is like needs to be customized. Let's see how we did. Let's see, activate. Okay, so what this does is adds a widget under appearance widgets. It makes the most sense to add it to your directory page. So you need to make sure your theme supports. This is member light specific functionality now. But depending on your theme, if you can add like custom, I need the plugins active. Is it active? No, that is active. Where can I change the sidebar? Hold on. I can always just put it in the main area. Let's see. Oh, hello. Did you see that? What did I do? Okay, I got it. Okay. Oh, but I have to make my page not full width. Sorry, y'all. Add a sidebar to the directory. Okay, so there's nothing in that sidebar currently. Maybe we'll make this 3 columns now that it's so narrow. Okay, cool. So that snippet we were editing adds a widget that you can insert into a sidebar area in WordPress. This would be totally different if you were using a block theme. MemberLite is the theme I'm using in this demo. That's the theme we have in the WordPress repo for membership sites. So it's a hybrid theme. So it has some block editor features, but it still supports this appearance widgets area. So let's see what we did. Ta-da, it's not working. Oh, maybe I didn't save my, no, I did save my thing. Why aren't you showing? This might just be a rabbit hole. I haven't used this recipe in a very long time. It's active, my PM Pro directory widget. Wonder what we did. Register the widget. Let's try putting it in all the pages. No, that one doesn't want to show. Okay, never mind. Why wouldn't that show? Oh, it wants to have the short code. That's why I'm not using the short code. That's why. Okay, let's go back in time. The widget wants you to be using the short code version. So that's an update we could make to this to rather check if the block is present on the page. Okay, that was an easy fix at least. So now we have these filters and we customize the recipe in that's here. No, not this one. Where did it go? That's somewhere. Oh, I know. If you want to link to this one, Sam.
Which one?
Filter. Allow users to filter results in the member directory. So we customized it. We added the widget to the sidebar area, and now we can limit by specific meta fields. So this one limits by a position. We only want to see dog trainers. So that would be the starting point right now, which is heavy in code. I recognize that. It's not what we want. And what we want to see is us moving toward some of these features not requiring code, but a way that if you had structured data, you could limit results in the directory rather than just free text search by certain fields. So that's the current method. It would probably be compatible if you were using like a user taxonomy, which is a way to create structured data around users. We have some support in our user fields features for that type of thing. And then also this membership level limiter also. Yeah.
We have a question from Growth Virtual Assistant. They are using another directory plugin currently. They use PM Pro for sign up and the information gathering. Once the directory add-on is added, will the directory listing populate?
Do you mean if you decide to start using this member directory now and you already have existing members? You can add directory at any point in a membership site. If you have 1,000 members and you add directories, and then today all those 1,000 members can appear in the directory if the directory settings allow their level into showing in the directory. So yes, that's totally possible. It doesn't from that point forward start. It looks at all users in the WordPress site and checks against their membership level. Or not. It can just show all users also.
They said yes.
Yeah. One thing I didn't show, which some people ask for, and we did talk a little bit about it, a private directory and a public directory. How would you do that? So that would be done by using the requiring membership. So you could put a version of the directory inside of membership require setting. This is 3.0 stuff, so you're getting a sneak peek here. You could hide this version of the directory from members. Let's say we didn't want to link it, right? We're not showing email. I don't know what else we would. Let's show only company. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. But not their title. And then you could have another version of it. To members that shows more information and is linked up. So this is me logged in with a membership level. Oh, wait, no, I don't have a membership level. That's right. Do I? Maybe I do. I thought my membership account didn't. Happy. Oh, that's right. 3.0.
There's a lot of maintenance guys in the backyard.
All right, let's cancel my membership level. Okay, so now I don't have a membership level. Oh, why did that become company level? That's right. Duh. Okay, so now I'm not a member. Am I? Subscription, membership. Did I do this right? Let me look at it in another window where I'm not logged in. That one has the data. It should work this way. Maybe I have a bug and not be linked up. That one's linked up for incognito. Try that. Oh, I'm doing this wrong. Hide from members. That should work. I'm looking at it in a different window, guys. Anyway, my last demo is a bust. Hide the block if the user doesn't want to access. Show to all members. What if I do this? That shouldn't show it. Do I have something else on this page? No. I don't know. Something like that should work. I always tell people that works, but maybe it doesn't, and I need to test it more myself. But in essence, we should support that too. We should support showing a version of the directory to non-members, to the public, and then a version to the members only. You could do it on 2 different pages. That's not always a great approach to do it. But it's better if you can do it on 1 page and just have those 2 views, because then everywhere that links to it is a single linking spot, not all these different links and redirections. We'll figure it out. We got a lot of info, though. We got a lot of ideas to take back to the drawing board when we expand on this.
Yeah, we did. Sorry, Abby's really mad because there's a maintenance guy at my door. But
oh, I'm sorry. Well, we're done. We're at 3 o'clock. Anything else we can unblock? Any questions coming in? Oh, Reddit. There you go.
Yeah, Reddit. I've never been on Reddit.
No, I don't really use it, but there are times there's a WordPress subreddit and people ask questions about membership plugins in there. And, it's hard as the owner to be like, you should use ours, which is what you want to do. But yeah. Cool. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
This will stay on our YouTube channel, so you can watch back if anything here. I know I go fast. If you want to come back to anything, the chat should also stay. So a lot of the links, if you watched on YouTube, or you can find us later on YouTube, if you're watching from a different social channel. And what do we have next?
I say this is the last one for this year, so we will see everybody next year. But next year, when we start on January 11th, again, that's going to be the day where we start our 2024 open office hours. We will be optimizing your SEO strategy with Daniel. I hope I got his last name right. Roach.
Probably.
Roach. I don't know.
I think
but
it might be
it'll
international. It might be Roche. I think that he's French.
He is French.
Mm-hmm.
Or Italian. One of the two.
Okay.
I don't remember from the profile. But yeah, it will be balloons. Yay.
Balloons.
End of the year.
SEO optimization for membership sites, which is
with
interesting.
A guest.
Yeah, with a guest.
We usually have guests on. Our last guest was Chris Badgett from LMS, but he's also
that's right,
kind of part of our team.
Yes.
So
awesome. Well, thanks everybody. I hope you all get some break over the next few weeks and have a beautiful new year.
Rest and recoup for 2024.
Yes.
See you guys.